when you and I first met, you hadn't started your influencer journey.
No.
At all.
No.
What led to you choosing that path? Because you've shared with me that you have experienced anxiety, and then you went in the direction of the most anxiety-ridden career you could have.
My anxiety is insane. And I feel like my anxiety is actually what caused me to do it, because I kind of always wanted to do it. It was something I always kind of debated. I used to make like YouTube videos with my sister and stuff, and they're hidden on YouTube somewhere. Like, you can totally find them.
Not so hidden, because I love your musical videos with your sister.
Yeah, they're there. They're there.
We're going to need to share one of those.
They're insane.
In the edit.
Like, I am literally insane, always have been. But I think the biggest thing for me was always feeling like not complete when I was on set doing makeup for people. I felt like I was longing to be the person in front of the camera. I feel like that sounds cocky to say, but like,
I've been on set with you as a makeup artist.
Yeah.
And you truly, all puns intended, do have like the biggest personality in the room. You're also so grounding at the same time. I could really just fangirl over you.
Oh.
I really just admire you so much.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
I can see why you felt that way, because you're a talented makeup artist.
Thank you.
But you do have so much inside of you to give.
Thank you. I really did just feel like I wanted to showcase more of myself, and I always felt like when I was behind the camera, it was like everyone there, I could make jokes and talk to them and they would know me, but then beyond that, nobody really knew me. And I just have always wanted to make people happy. Like, that's my biggest thing, is like I always try to be this really bubbly, excited person despite whatever's going on behind the scenes for me. Try to be grounding for people, like be that space where when you come to my page or you talk to me in person, you just feel, okay, wait, I feel comfortable. Like, why do I feel so comfortable? And I feel like I, and not to toot my own horn, really try to just be a safe space for everyone, regardless of whatever they're saying to me. And I feel like I try to create that through my content. And I feel like just being bubbly and being open to a certain degree, like I don't go crazy online spilling my life, but like just that desire to be what I wish I had watching people before. And it's just feeling comfortable. Like, I just want people to feel comfortable. So I was like, I'm going to do that. And through beauty, which is something I'm obsessed with. And I just didn't want my anxiety to stop me, because I feel like it stops me in so many areas of my life. And I was like, not this time. I'm just going to push through, and whatever I feel will be an afterthought.
Yeah. And how did you push through?
It was hard.
Yeah.
Like, I spent a lot of days crying if I got a bad comment, or if someone was calling me names or saying I'm ugly, to the point where I actually comment blocked the word ugly. I said, never again. You're never going to say this to me again.
I didn't even know comment blocking was a thing.
On TikTok.
Wow.
Oh, I've blocked a lot of different like comments. You can just input things like fat. I say, you're not coming to my page and call me fat. Do not trigger my eating disorder ever. So
yeah.
I did that, and I felt like that helped me. And then also just telling myself that it's like, these people don't even know me. They're seeing me from an angle that I set up, and words that I'm choosing to say, and then editing that I chose to cut out certain things. So it's like, you are seeing a filtered version of me, and if you have a problem with that, that's insane. And you need help, because that's insane. But I still struggle with it. It's like, I can say all of that, and then the other day I was spiraling over one girl saying something to me. So it's like, as much as I have it together and like I push through, I also totally don't.
Yeah, no, that's completely understandable, because it's like anything in life. Like, we don't have it figured out. You can't be the best version of yourself 100% of the time.
Exactly.
And as much as you can say things don't bother you, if you have a bad day and someone pokes on that bad day, things can fall apart in ways that you thought that you had worked through or past.
Exactly. I feel like that's a big thing for me, is like, I'm not someone that I feel like gets easily triggered, but like if I'm in the mindset of feeling vulnerable and someone says something that's like what I'm already thinking, it just sets me off. And then I'm just like, oh, great. Okay. I don't know what I'm going to do today now, because I'm going to focus on this comment for the rest of the day.
How do you push through that then to make the next video and to keep going when you're spiraling in a comment?
I think it's the desire to be successful. Like, I set up really high expectations for myself, and I'm someone that I'm very much so a go-getter, and I've gone through some crazy things in my life, and I just have this whole thing of being like, I'm just going to act like everything's okay, and then hopefully it will be okay. So I think it's a bit of delusion. Like, I'm kind of delusional.
A good delulu. That's how we get through life. It's a little
seriously.
delulu.
So my answer is, yeah, delusion. I just get through it by like convincing myself of like, it's fine. It doesn't matter. This person doesn't matter. And then keep pushing that way, even though I feel like my world is crashing down or however I'm feeling in the moment. But it's hard. Like, it's so hard to do it. But that desire to always be better and better myself and always level up just surpasses anything else that I feel.
You share so much of yourself online already, but obviously it's not the full picture. So what do you think are some of the misconceptions that people have when they see you and they're like, we know TRULEE? Because I'm sure a lot of people feel like they really know TRULEE. But what are some of those misconceptions that people think about you that aren't actually reality?
I think the biggest thing is that I'm extroverted. That's not true. I don't have very many friends. I have a very close circle, and I don't hang out with people often. I actually had one girl that met me and was like, oh, you're really quiet. It's like, yeah, I am. I actually have so much anxiety that when someone's recognizing me and meeting me, I'm way more anxious than they could possibly be, because I'm like, oh my gosh, you're meeting the real me right now, not the filtered version, not the super good day version. You're meeting me in whatever form you're seeing me in, and sometimes it's not pretty. So it's like, you know, I feel like, yeah, people think I'm very extroverted, and I can force myself to be, and I am bubbly and outgoing, but I definitely love my alone time, and the only time for me to really like rejuvenate is when I'm alone. So I feel like that's one thing. And I think another thing that people think that I have going on that I don't is that I'm really confident. I am so insecure. Like, it's insane. Like, I bully myself all the time, and it's just, I'm faking it till I make it, I guess. And it's like, if I act confident for long enough, eventually it will happen. And some days I am confident. Some days I'm like, ooh, I feel like I'm that bitch. But, you know, other days I'm like, ooh, I hate myself. Like, ew. So I think a lot of people think that I'm very confident in my hair and my body and my face. And it's like not the case at all. So I would say those are the two biggest ones that I think people assume that are just so not true.
Yeah. What do you, because I have noticed that online you have gotten a lot of reactions towards your hair, which is absolutely wild. And where do you, like, how do you unpack that? Also from having a Black dad and a white mom, you get so many comments about, so I recognize this from a fact of also, like, my husband. He's an actor, and he often is not Indian enough to be the Indian guy, but not white enough to play the white guy. And it always falls in these different categories. And I've noticed that online, a target for that is your hair.
Yes. It's a debate for everyone. I have the curl police after me all the time. The first thing I always do is cry. The second I get one of those comments, I cry, and I'm just like, dang, I feel minimized again. And it's always this, like, it's a touchy subject for me when it comes to people commenting on it, because I never know how to react. Because I get upset and I feel very invalidated, because it's like, what do you want me to do? Like, I didn't ask to look this way. I didn't ask to be more fair-skinned with more curly hair. I just didn't choose this life. This is just who I am. And I don't even really talk about it. And I feel like a lot of people maybe just push whatever their idea is on me. So if they feel like curly hair means it has to be 4C, then they'll push that on me. Or if they feel like, you know, I'm acting like curly hair is my personality, or I'm acting like I'm so black, then they'll push that on me. And it's like, I'm just acting like myself. I don't sit here and try to convince anybody of literally anything. I don't even advocate for myself. So it's like, a lot of these people get very upset over nothing, and it's something I've dealt with my whole life. So it's not new to me. I'm not surprised by people bringing it up. I'm not surprised when I get a comment anymore. But I do get surprised when it becomes a fight in my comments. A lot of the times they'll battle each other, and they'll be like, no, she has a Black dad, like, stop. No, she is Black. Or I'll get comments being like, I never knew a white girl could have curly hair. Or, you know, people will battle with random information that they just assume. Everything's assumptions. And I still to this day don't know how to deal with it. I just try to ignore it, or sometimes I'll comment back and be like, oh, I am mixed. And then I'll just leave it there. But I just have never felt like I fit into a category. I'm just me. I'm just floating somewhere in the middle, and I'm okay with that. But other people aren't. They want me to, like, pick something. And it's like, what do I pick? Because I'm both, so I can't pick one.
Yeah, society is wild, and, like, needing to fit people into boxes.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, it's nothing in society even fits in any of those boxes. So where did these boxes even come from? It's wild.
I know. And then I feel like I'm tone deaf, or, like, really, like, trying to find a problem if I'm upset about it, which is why I don't talk about it. Because the last thing I ever want to do is make someone else upset. So it's, like, always shocking to me when someone finds something to be upset about with it in just my appearance, because it's like, I'm doing everything in my power to make sure I don't upset you, and that I don't minimize whatever you're going through on the other side of the screen, and yet you're still mad at me. How are you doing that? Like, that's insane.
Yeah, I mean, there's people are always going through their own battles. And unfortunately, I think sometimes online they feel like they have a right to, to just project on people whom are in the public eye. And for whatever reason, it can sometimes make people feel better about their circumstances by spewing hate on others. But it's really unfair to the person on the other side of the screen, like you.
Yeah, it's like I'm human. I'm not a robot. And I read these comments. I don't know if people think that I don't ever see comments. I just don't reply because oftentimes I find myself wanting to put more energy into the bad comments. And I'm like, I can't do that because it's not fair to the people who are here just looking to compliment me or lift me up or just want to hey back. And so sometimes I just find myself looking at the comment section. If I even see one that I'm like, this is just wild, I gotta go off my phone. Yesterday I was off my phone literally the entire day. I was like, I'm not going on my phone because I know what's gonna happen to me if I open up my phone right now.
Yeah.
So it just leads to me avoiding anything on my cell phone at all. Like social media, emails, anything. It's like I can't even see one notification right now. It'll bother me.
Have you heard of the brick? So I have this thing on my fridge upstairs that I tap my phone to it and it disables all social media on my phone.
What?
It disables all anything. And the only way to have it come back is to tap it again. So if I brick my phone before I leave the house, then I can't see any social media. I can't see anything other than somebody who's calling me or texting me.
Oh, wow. I'd never heard of that before. And maybe I need that because some days I feel like if I'm super self-conscious that day and I get a bad comment, then I feel awful for the entire day. And if I'm super self-conscious and then I see a good comment, I'm like, yeah, right. And then I still have a bad day. And then if I'm having a really good day and I get a bad comment, it ruins my day. If I'm having a really good day and I get a good comment, I'm like, okay, rock on. So it's like there's more % chance of me having a bad day through getting a comment. So it's like
we gotta brick that shit.
No, seriously. Yeah, I need to brick my phone because I can't sometimes. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm not complaining. I always appreciate whatever the attention is because it's like, thank you. You're paying the bills. So can't really complain that much.
Okay, let's shift gears a little bit to the fact that we don't want to put energy into all of the negativity. We don't want to put energy in life into. I also see that as like a best rule of thumb is like, okay, that's your experience that you're having. Where can I channel my energy into something good to keep propelling myself forward? What are the good things you channel into? Like, what are the things you love?
Good question. I have so many things that I enjoy doing. And honestly, my biggest thing is filming content. I feel like whether I'm having a really bad day or a really good day, I always try to film something because it does make me feel better because I just entered this alternate universe. But other things beside my job would be spending time with my animals because I'm literally animal obsessed. Sewing. I love to sew, even though my sewing machine breaks down on me and then that just really starts something within me. And cooking. I literally love to cook. I love cooking as like my love language. And anytime like if my sister's having a bad day or whatever, I'm like, what can I cook? Like, what's her favorite meal that I can cook for her? Or if I need comfort, I'm going to eat. Like, that's my thing. I love to eat. And sometimes that's a problem because I'll eat myself sick. But, like, I really love food and those kind of things. And matcha. I drink too much of it.
Matcha. We haven't even talked about matcha yet. We were talking about matcha before you got here.
And I was chugging a matcha before I got here.
Okay, I'm new on the matcha train and obsessed with matcha. I also only drink it with coconut milk.
Really?
Do you have like a...
Oat milk.
Oat milk.
I'm an oat girl.
I thought I was an oat girl. And then I went on an AIP diet, an autoimmune protocol diet. I got really sick and had to go on this diet. And I had to cut out oat milk. I had to cut everything out.
Wow.
Coconut milk was the way to go. Now I get a reaction when I have oat milk. Like,
What?
I know if it's not
Wow. I've never tried coconut milk. I am curious to try it, though, now that you said it. But I am matcha obsessed. Like, I try so many different matcha brands and the powder. I make it at home because
Same.
places,
Nothing.
what do they
I'm
know?
with you on that. What's your matcha brand?
I love the Rockies matcha. They did a collab with Say Beauty recently. That's kind of how I feel like a lot of people are discovering them. But I like their OG matcha. They sell out so often. There's actually a matcha shortage right now. That's why a lot of brands are sold out.
I actually heard about the matcha shortage. So I bought like these giant bins of, I like the jade matcha.
Oh, I haven't tried that.
So I have, because I heard that there was going to be a shortage. I think a lot of people are shifting from coffee into matcha.
And they need to stop. It's my territory, and I can't have more people hopping on this and this shortage to continue.
I feel like we need to do a PSA straight into the camera. If you are drinking matcha, it is time for you to leave the matcha for me and Truly.
Seriously, though, I need it. It's the thing that makes me be able to take on the day. Like, it doesn't give me energy. Nothing does, not even coffee, because I have ADHD, so, like, literally nothing helps. But it does just make me feel like it's a part of my ritual. Like when I have my matcha, I'm like, okay. Like I was having anxiety before I came and I drank my matcha and I was like, okay, wait, I can do this. It's like a mental thing, to be honest. I don't think it's the matcha.
Yeah, I feel the same way, Kate, but these mental things are important.
Yeah.
What other mental things? Matcha is a mental for me as well. And obviously animals, I find instantly,
Yes.
the minute that you sit down with your animals, it is an instant anxiety relief.
Yes, I agree. I completely agree. Anytime I have a panic attack, I need one of my pets and I'm just petting them. I'm making them lick me. Some people think it's gross when your dog licks your face. I don't, and I don't care. I'll break out, sure. I'll have a reaction, sure. I don't really care. Like, I just need it. One of my dogs actually has stinky breath, so it's not really fun when he does it.
But do you secretly love this stinky breath?
Okay, you know what? My sister said that the other day in an Uber, and she was like, guys, I miss Bond's stinky breath. And we were all like, sorry, what did you just say? Because his breath is like out of this world stinky. Like, you wouldn't be able to handle it. Nobody would. It would like fumigate the room like a green cloud. He's a stink bug. We call him Stink on Bond because he's that stinky.
Oh, do you think he has a complex about it?
Yeah.
As he should.
He hates other male dogs.
No.
And he's like small. He's like 6 pounds. So it's like, dude.
I was expecting a giant
No,
thing.
he's like a mini little dog with all this attitude. And I respect it. Like, your boundaries, king. Protect those.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel to.
What else have you learned from your animals? Boundaries is a good lesson.
Yeah, no, honestly, I think something I learned about my animals is like just do whatever you want because they do literally whatever they want. They're not very naughty, but I always find it interesting. Like my dog Misa, she's a toy poodle. She's like 10 pounds. She's a little like apricot poodle to paint the picture. And she always goes off on her own. Like she gets overstimulated a lot. Honestly, she reminds me of a cat. She's like a dog cat. So anytime she gets overstimulated, she just goes off on her own into a bedroom and lays on a pillow. And then if there's a fluffy pillow, she'll chew on the fluffy pillow and like knead it like she's baking bread. That's so weird. It's a comfort thing for them. Mm-hmm. And I take a note from that because I'm like, wait, like, yeah, I can actually always remove myself from a situation if I'm overstimulated. And I feel like that's something that I still don't fully grasp because I feel like I'll put myself in situations that I know make me uncomfortable and just see it through. Like I'm big on seeing things through to the end for some dumb reason. And I always set myself up. But I definitely feel like my dog Misa has taught me to just remove yourself from situations. And my dog Rosie has taught me to just make the most of every situation because she's always happy. Like she'll be throwing up and then immediately after she's like, where's the toy? Like I need a toy right now. So I'm like, honestly, I love that energy because I like to learn how to bounce back because I feel like when I get into like spirals and episodes, I just feel myself sinking. And usually I have to hit rock bottom before I go back up. But I really try my best to like cut it somehow. And I feel like a big thing is like from watching my pets always be so happy, it's like that energy goes on to me because it's like, well, you're so happy and I'm not. So why am I not right now? Because I'll just get in my head.
Totally. I feel like animals give a good reminder of how simple life can be and how complicated we make it for ourselves.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel like I really overcomplicate things. And I have a big thing of like making up scenarios in my head because I feel like my memory is literally 4K movie. Like in TV shows when they do flashbacks, that is literally how my brain processes memories. And a lot of the time I just psych myself out and I make things up in my head and I picture the worst case scenario literally ever possibly to happen. And I'm like convincing myself it's going to happen. And my body's like, ooh, impending doom, something bad's going to happen. And then I have to try to like clock it. And usually one thing I do to judge that is because I have paranoia and I seriously suffer from like always thinking I'm in danger. And that's something people don't know about me because I don't talk about it. But like I actually always think I'm in danger. Like I feel like I'm being followed. And I felt like this from a young age, like always feeling like something bad is going to happen to me, being kidnapped, being like the worst case scenario. I'm always like thinking it's going to happen. And I just use my dogs as judgment. It's like if I'm scared and I'm looking at them and they're just chewing a stick, I'm like, okay, well, you're going to detect a problem before me. Yeah. So if you're chilling, then I need to seriously relax because nothing's wrong.
Yeah. Are any of your dogs service animals?
No, but I think Misa should be because I feel like she always comes to me at the perfect time. Sometimes she's avoidant though, and I'm like, girl, I'm crying and like you need to come
I need you.
Like, hello. But a lot of the time I feel like she's the one to come to my room and she's like, hey, and then she'll leave after like 3 seconds because she just couldn't be bothered.
She's like, you're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
She's like, you're fine, queen. Bye. But yeah.
So we were talking about also our wearables.
Yes.
Well, we were talking about your beautiful nails too.
Thank
I think that this one is a fish, and I think that one's sushi, which is a little bit ironic.
Wild.
Yeah. But I noticed that you're wearing an Aura ring.
Yes.
And so do you monitor your stress on your Aura ring?
Oh, yeah.
And what does the data do? Or how do you even use the data? I'm new to the wearables, actually.
I'm also still kind of new.
Okay. When did you start wearing it?
I feel like I started wearing it in March.
Okay.
So recently.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't quite know what to do with the data yet. What do you do with your data when it tells you that your stress is off the charts?
I'm like, okay, period. And then I just go on about my day. Honestly, one thing I've been doing that I feel like has helped is me trying to watch to see when do I get super stressed out. And it's like, was I talking about a certain something? Was I like upset about maybe how my views weren't where I wanted them to be? Or was I upset about my room being messy because it currently is a mess? What is causing this? And then I also like to see when it says I'm rested or I'm relaxed or whatever the restorative thing is that they say, I'm like, what was I doing during that time that made me feel calm and collected? And I try to use it that way because I'm a very stressed person. My stress is always off the charts on my Aura ring, and it actually has given me warnings before being like, you need to have a relaxing day. What is wrong with you? And I'm always like, I don't know. And they're like, meditation? And I'm like, absolutely not. So I usually just don't know what to do. But I've been trying to watch that and see, like, okay, when I went to Pilates, I was chilling. So I'm just going to go to Pilates more often. And it's like, okay, I was watching TV with my sister and I was fine. So I'm going to do that more often. And stuff like that.
Yeah. I also feel like sometimes when I see the stress marker and it's so high, I'm like, seeing the fact that I'm so stressed out is making me more stressed out.
I know. So like, what do you do? Like, how do you read yours? Because I need tips.
Same. So I wear the Whoop, and it was actually suggested to me from somebody else that said the same thing, that she was shocked at how high her stress levels were. But similarly, I go to Pilates. I am a meditator, so I do, when I notice that my stress is just through the roof, I try to take an extra long amount of time to meditate or walk my dogs. That is always the least stressful thing for me. I have a very reactive dog now, so now it's spiking my stress. But yeah, I find that that's how I use the data. I also use the sleep data a lot. I think the sleep,
me too.
Yeah, it contributes also, I think, to the stress. So if I'm not sleeping well, then throughout the day I have less capacity and am probably more reactive. That's spiking my stress more so as well. So the sleep one is really interesting. I've never had an Aura ring before. So how does it tell you? For mine, it's what I love about the sleep one is that it's also my alarm clock.
What?
Yeah, which also I feel like none of this is sponsored, by the way, but it vibrates until it wakes me up.
So no, like when you move, it stops or something?
Yeah, when I stand up, well, you can double tap it, and you have to stand up and double tap it, and then it will stop.
So you have to stand up, though?
Well, I don't know if you have to, but sometimes I'm like, and then I finally stand up and then it stops.
Oh.
So I don't know if it technically you have to stand up, but it forces me to. But yeah, so it tells me what time I'm supposed to go to sleep at based on all of the data of my stress and everything else. Yeah.
It will be like, hey, bedtime reminder, and I'm like, no, thank you, bye. And really bad, like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and I'm like wired still. Like,
what are you doing?
I don't know. Like, I couldn't tell you. Sometimes I'm just like playing this stupid Castle Doom Bad app I have on my phone. I should never downloaded it. I regret it so much. Like, I'm addicted to it.
We need to break your phone.
No, I need to actually break my phone.
For your health.
I know. For my wellness journey. But I'm addicted to that. And so that's something I'll do. Or doom scrolling. Like anything with doom, apparently. I'm just attached to it. But I love to doom scroll. But I also get inspired by people online. So I pretend it's work. I'm like, I'm working, and I'm just scrolling on TikTok. No, but it's work. It's research.
It is research. I love it.
But yeah, no, with the sleep data, I definitely use that. I feel like I'm very shocked to see how long it takes me to fall asleep because it takes me a long time. And I feel like that's just because my brain needs so much time before it's ready to clock out because it's always racing. And before bed, I have this ritual of overthinking everything throughout the day and everything I've ever done in my entire life. So I just sit there and reflect and then make myself feel bad until I'm too tired, and then I go to sleep. So that's why I doom scroll, because I'm like, it just distracts me. But it's always interesting to see that I don't get very restful sleep.
Oh, really? What was your sleep score last night?
Good question. I didn't check it this morning, but yesterday's was really low. I can't remember the number, but it was like you didn't sleep at all. And it took me 30 minutes to fall asleep, which is not too bad compared to usually like an hour. But it wasn't restful, and it was like only like 5 hours, I think, which is usually kind of normal for me. But I find even if I get like 9 hours, which is a little bit above what I try to do, I feel groggy because I'm not actually fully sleeping. I'm like half alert.
That makes sense. The first night that I wore my Whoop, my sleep score was 13%. And I don't know if these wearables work or not. This is insane.
No way.
And then 2 days later, I ended up sleeping on the couch because I had someone staying with me, and my sleep score was 100.
What?
So similar to what you were saying before of just like trying to like figure things out and trying to use your data. And so I have slept on the couch again, just trying to like scientifically get down to the bottom of this data. And again, I had like a 98% sleep score.
What?
Sleeping on the couch with both of my dogs that take up the majority of the couch.
No way. Do you have a good couch?
I have a decent couch.
Is it big?
It's a couch. It's a decent couch. It's not big. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You know, some people have really cozy couches that are like huge, so I get it. It feels like a bed almost, but like maybe it's cuz I'm so tall. So like a couch, it doesn't do it for me. My feet are like hanging off, or like my body's just really long, so it doesn't really work for me, but you know what? Maybe I'm going to try that.
I have to say I didn't remember you being this tall.
I know, I'm really tall.
I don't know what. Yeah, it's like I didn't remember truly being this tall. We've spent time with each other.
I know, no. I think I grew, to be honest.
I think you did.
Yeah.
I can concur. You 100% grew.
Yeah, no, I'm like 5'11", 6 feet. Actually, it's a debate with my boyfriend how tall I am, but I think I'm 6 foot tall. A doctor told me that once, and I like to take doctors seriously, not my boyfriend. So
fair.
You can stop. I do think I'm like 6 foot tall, and that's another thing. People are always shocked by how tall I am. And I'm usually wearing some type of platform shoe for some reason. It's not intentional at all. Like, I'm not trying to tower over people, but I just typically pick those shoes for some reason. And yeah, like actually I used to be insecure about my height because I hated towering over people and I wanted to be cute. I wanted to be little and cute. And then now I'm just like, honestly, I can reach things, and I feel like I'm a little bit more intimidating than I'm tall. And because I have paranoia, it helps me feel like, who's going to mess with a tall girl?
I almost wonder if I didn't realize how tall you were before because you didn't embrace your tallness. So
Probably.
maybe you felt smaller, and now you have embraced it. And I'm like, wow, that is a tall, beautiful queen.
Oh, thank you. I definitely stand up straight now. Posture is a big thing. And I say that as I'm slouching to the max right now. But like, I really try to focus on my posture because that's something I notice. Like, I always slouch down, and I always like look so insecure, and I've caught myself looking just like so small, and I'm like, why am I doing that to myself? I need people to not assume that I'm insecure and approachable and anything like that. So I changed that. Main thing was because of men. I don't want them to approach me outside, don't even look at me. So stand tall and they won't mess with you.
That leads me to another question. I'm so curious about dating.
Dating. Okay. So what do you want to know?
So coming from a place of like having anxiety in these experiences, and I also have had, horrible dating experiences. And so how has been like going into now in a serious relationship and dating, and how do you keep your anxiety in check? How do you let somebody in? So many questions. Where do we even start?
I know. Okay. Let me start with the fact that my first boyfriend was in high school, and that lasted 6 years.
Oh, wow.
So I was in that for a long time, and it was awful. It was like, it actually ruined my life being in that relationship and letting it stretch out for so long. I just wasn't appreciated the way I wanted to be appreciated. And I'm not even saying that meaning like, I need gifts, I need so much attention, I need compliments. It was like, I just want respect. Like, I just want you to respect me. And I think because I struggle with mental illness, it can be a little bit harder to know how to navigate dealing with someone who's mentally ill. So I always leave a little bit of space for that, and am always open about that. But my first relationship definitely shut me down and made me kind of be like, okay, well, this is what it is. This is dating. I love that. But when we broke up, I got dating apps because, like, how was I going to meet anybody? I don't really go out. And I ended up meeting my now boyfriend, who has totally changed my perspective on relationships. And I went about it in a way that I would have probably never approached before, and that was just by being myself. Like, I would FaceTime him with a bonnet on, no makeup, literally laying in bed, double chin and frame. And I was like, this is literally me. So if you're not interested in this and you can't love me with me looking like how you're actually going to see me 90% of the time, then just don't talk to me. And I was honest about my trauma. I was honest about my last relationship, which could be a deterrent because not a lot of people want to sign up for that. And I was just myself. And the fact that he accepted that and was so like patient with me in a way where it was like, I just never felt pressured to excel the relationship or slow down the relationship in any way. It was just whatever speed I was going with, he was moving with that. And at first I was like, this is too good to be true. This is just feeling a little bit like, ooh, I don't like this. Like, what's going on here? But like, now that we're like 2.5 years in, I'm like, oh, this is just you. You're just patient. You're just nice. And there are good people out there, and I don't have to keep my guard up. But it took me a lot of time. I even catch myself like self-still. I'll be triggered by something like driving in a car. Like if he's driving me in a car, I get very triggered by that because in my last relationship, that was a fear tactic. And so, and I say tactic because it was too calculated for it to just be a rage moment. And I get triggered very easily, like where it's like out of nowhere, I'll just be like, oh my gosh, like you're driving too fast. Oh my gosh, like I can't handle it. Like, oh my gosh, and get really mad. And he always handles it so calmly, like in a way where it's like, I wouldn't even be able to react so calmly, even if I knew someone was triggered, because I'd be like, why are you freaking out right now? Like, I don't know what to do. I'm driving and you're giving me anxiety. And he always just slow down, be like, it's okay. Like, do you want me to pull over? Do you want to drive instead? Do you want to just stop? Like, we can get a coffee. Like, we don't have to go anywhere right now. And I feel like that was a big thing for me. Like, I get triggered at really random things. So it's like having that is what made dating easy. But it was not easy for me before, because I'm so anxious and I have trust issues.
Totally. I feel like a healing journey too, when you can feel healed in your own bubble. And then when you expand that, like before I met my now husband, which I feel like, you've met him too. When we first started dating. So long ago. We're now married, and it's actually our 2-year anniversary, our 2-year wedding anniversary. But before I met him, I felt like I was healed. I felt like I went through this whole healing journey. I was in a good place in my career, my life. I felt grounded. But I recognized once we started dating, it was easy to feel grounded when I was keeping everything out that would trigger me.
Yes.
So it's easy not to be triggered by love or by a relationship, even a healthy relationship at that, you're avoiding being in one.
Exactly.
So it's like this constant journey of healing, because these new things at any given moment can trigger you, because you can't continue to always leave yourself out of situations just not to be triggered.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I even found that when we started dating, we did this thing at the beginning, which he implemented, which was so kind, a similar thing to just like holding so much space for me. And it was called stop, start, continue. And it's when you just check in with each other, and it's really quick, and you tell the other person something you want them to stop doing, start doing, and something that you love that you want them to continue doing. And the first time that we did this, my stop to him was like, stop loving me so much. Like, I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
It feels uncomfortable. It feels too good to be true.
Yeah.
It feels like, when is the next shoe gonna drop? And his love gave me so much anxiety.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that. Even being 2.5 years in and, kind of feeling like I'm at a good place, like sometimes I feel like I don't deserve this, because I spent so much time in a relationship where I felt like I was undeserving of everything. And I used to drive to his house and convince myself like, I don't deserve happiness. Like, and I would tell myself those things just to be able to get through the day. So something that we started doing that's kind of similar to that is like, we have this waffle app, and it's like a shared journal, and it asks you random questions every single day. And some are personal. Cool. It's so cute. Some are personal, and some are like something you like about the other person or whatever. And I love that because it's something that's like outside of us talking to each other, that's like totally separate, where it's like, we don't really address much of what we even say in the journal in person. We'll reply in comments to each other's journal entries, but it's like, even if we're next to each other, it's like, that's the journal. This is separate to whatever conversation we're having or whatever's going on, and we can both be raw and authentic and then just leave it in the journal. And I feel like that's something that helped me, because I feel like communication's a big thing for me in a relationship, and being able to understand the person is a big thing. And honestly, understanding people in general is something that I will overthink all the time, because I want to get to the bottom of, why did someone do something? I need to know now. I need to figure it out. Yeah, just having communication like that, and even outside of that, where it's like, hey, I don't like that you do this, and then having someone be receptive to that instead of just continuing to do that and maybe even amplifying
or getting
that,
defensive,
or the defensiveness. I can't stand that. It's like, why are you mad that you hurt my feelings? Like, get a grip, please. I can't handle it. I do leave room for people typically do get defensive a little bit if they feel attacked, and that's just a human thing. So it's like, okay, you can have your 5 minutes of defensiveness, but past that, once the timer's up, relax and let's go back to the whole purpose of the conversation. But yeah, I know we definitely have things to relate on in previous relationships, because girl, that is the
Yes.
reason I struggle. Like, it's like the second I get put back into that zone, it's over. That month, write it off, because it is hard to escape that once I feel any type of way. And it's like, ugh, I hate it. And it's not something I talk about online. It's not something that I want to burden people with, I guess. I feel like I'm burdening someone with that information. And, you know, this relationship ended while I was still doing influencing, but not a single soul could ever tell because I'm so good at hiding it. But the people in real life knew for sure. And I feel like I was actually on a brand trip when I was going through it, and I was having a panic attack until like 4 o'clock in the morning, to the point where I was like, do I need to go to the hospital? I was in Palm Springs. I was like, do I need to go to the hospital? Because I can't breathe and I think I'm going to die. And they ended up being so sweet to me. And I feel like that was a pivotal moment for me, was just feeling like because I isolate myself and feeling like people believe me and people are there for me and they actually think my situation's crazy, and just taking a moment for people to be like, hey, you're not well. And it's like, thank you. No, actually, thank you, because I'm not. And I feel like nobody realizes that because I hide it so well. But like, I like being clocked. Like, to be honest with you, I like being clocked when I'm going through something, because it's like, thank you for recognizing my struggle beneath this like facade I've created. Yeah, I'm unwell.
Yeah, it almost gives you permission to take the curtain down.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I almost always, without fail, once I do take the curtain down, get so emotional, because I'm just like, finally I can let it all out. Finally, I can tell people that like, I'm not okay. And like, actually recently I ended up telling my followers that I was going through something, because I felt like I couldn't even hide it at that point. Like, I don't even know what was going on. I couldn't even tell you completely, because when I go through such an intense depressive episode, I black it out immediately after.
Coping mechanism.
Yeah, black things out. And I think that actually causes struggle for me, because when I do remember it, I'm like, what? That happened for real? And I actually couldn't even hide it online. I had to just literally do a PSA being like, I'm unwell, just letting you guys know, not even joking, even though I'm being so bubbly about it. I am not okay. The second this camera turns off, I'm going to go back in my bed and not shower for a couple days. Thank you. So I definitely like love to be open about it, but like I need a reason. I need someone to tell me it's okay to do it. And then I'm like, okay, here's everything that's wrong with me. And are you okay with that? And do you still love me?
And are you finding that helps you even get through the episode, because there is so much love pouring in?
I feel like even though it's like a very weird social relationship that I have with my followers and just people online and mutuals, I feel like their validation still means so much to me. And I don't know if they realize that, because it's like, yeah, maybe we don't know each other in person, but like, your nice DM on a bad day does make a crazy difference for me. And it makes me be like, oh, wait, I'm not a loser. Thank you for thinking I'm not a loser. Because I feel like when you get into your own head, and I don't know if you can relate, like you can really convince yourself of the most bizarre things.
Really have, even hearing you talk about this, there's so many things that internally I'm like, wow, it's wild that Trulee's having these conversations with herself, because I also, like, I would, if I heard the way I talk to myself, if I heard someone talk to my best friend that way, I would be a dangerous woman. That is totally not okay but we talk to ourselves in ways, like hearing you say these things, I can relate completely. I convinced myself I am a bad person.
Yes, me too. Me too. And it's like, I actually was telling one of my good friends this on the way here when I was talking to her about like, you know, just being stressed and having anxiety and just like things that cause me anxiety and just trying to get it off my chest before coming here so I didn't just randomly trauma dump the second I got the mic on. But I was just like, it's so wild that we can put ourselves in those headspaces so fast and tell ourselves things and say that we're bad people, that like we like convince ourselves that we deserve things that happen to us. And that's a big thing for me. It's like, I feel like I almost can't find closure unless I convince myself that I'm the problem. And so that's something that happens on a daily basis for me. Sometimes not a daily basis, but right now, daily basis, is that I'm like, yeah, I'm such a bad person. I did these things and I'm an awful person. It's like let's dissect why I reacted that way in an argument with an ex, or let's dissect why I had a breakdown at an event, because what's the cause of that? And like, does that really make me a bad person? Because there are real bad people out there and I'm not one of them, because I would never try to hurt someone intentionally. I would never try to ruin someone's life. I would never try to do anything intentionally other than make someone happy. So like, how is that a bad person? But like, I'm still able to tell myself like, no, girl, you're a piece of shit.
We can convince ourselves about, like, this is where the Delulu comes in the bad way. Like, there's the good Delulu and then there's the bad Delulu.
Yeah. Yep. And I feel like when I get so sunken into a bad Delulu, the good Delulu starts coming through. And it's like, no, you're a queen. Like, how dare you ever think this of yourself? How could you ever tell yourself you're ugly? Do you know you're one of the prettiest people in the world? Like, and then it comes through and it's like, is this mania? I don't know what I'm experiencing right now. Like, it feels like this insane, like, light. Like, this weight is being lifted and you're like, oh my gosh, wait, no, I am not these things I keep telling myself. Not a single person has even said this to me. Why am I telling myself this?
Totally. Yeah. And then I start going through doom scrolls, I don't know if you can relate to this, of like mental health conversations. And then I self-diagnose myself with everything under the sun because how could both be true at the same time? And I truly, to my bones, believe both of them about myself.
Yes.
How can that be real without a diagnosis?
Exactly.
And it can be a dangerous doom scroll.
I've diagnosed myself with OCD. That's a new one for me. And that's just because my intrusive thoughts get so insanely bad. And it's like, it eats away at me to the point where like my body is physically reacting and I'll be like I'll shake my head to try and get the thought out, or it's just like, and it's random. It's whatever my brain finds the easiest thing to spiral about. And I think because my last relationship was so traumatic that anytime my brain goes there, it picks whatever else it can find and then just gives me those intrusive thoughts, whether it's bones breaking or like really weird graphic images or whatever it is, it does that. So I asked ChatGPT, what the hell do I have? She said, OCD, girl. And I was like, okay, should I get that tattooed? Like, is it confirmed? And now I need to see a psychiatrist. I've convinced myself that I just need to do that because, like, I'm not one. But, like, I feel like I am one at the same time because I sit there and diagnose my sister.
Yeah, I am the best armchair therapist there is. My favorite place to go is an airport and diagnose everyone that walks by.
Gosh, yeah. Oh, yeah. People
it's
watch,
unhealthy.
Like, I know. Like, I have a problem. Like, why am I people watching people? And then I think that's also why my social anxiety gets so bad. Because I'm like, if I'm doing this, someone is doing this to me when I walk by. So sometimes I get really conscious about my walk. I'm like, what does my walk say about me today? I need to have a power walk, and maybe someone will think I'm just a baddie, and then they don't diagnose me with anything.
Sometimes I want to know what they're diagnosing me with, though. I want to go sit down and just be like, so I saw you observing me. Can you please tell me what's wrong? Because I need to know.
I know, I feel that way with this girl at the post office. Anytime I have a conversation with her, I have to fight the intrusive thought to be like, so what are your thoughts on me? Like every single time, because I'm like, we'll have a conversation and I will be really bubbly. And I also like, when I have a conversation with someone that I don't know, I'll immediately just try to make it comfortable so that we can get through this conversation and just skip the awkwardness. And sometimes I'm just like, so curious to know, like, did you think I was funny? Like, I just want to know, when you saw me walk in here, was I giving or was I not? Like, I just need to know.
I need you to confirm or deny one of these thoughts I'm having.
Like, did you think I was weird? Like, was it weird that I started making jokes about myself immediately off the rip? Like, I just need to know. And that actually reminds me of, I am awful at making friends. Like, I'm so awkward and I just like immediately like word vomit things. And I have this new friend that actually caught me on the way out of an event, and she came up to my car, and my car is a mess. Like, my car is a reflection of what's going on in my head. There's glitter on the seats. Don't ask me how that happened. There is boxes.
You'll never get the glitter out.
And I never will. And I think I just have to start enjoying it. So all of my, like the butt of my pants, anytime I get out of my car, glitter. So I have glitter butt all the time. And there's just tissues from my allergies. Like, I tuck it into the cup holder, which is so nasty. I'm so sorry I'm admitting that, but like, it gets worse. But just imagine a messy car.
I see.
She comes up to my car and she's like, hi. And she like puts her arms over the window and I'm like, no. You're going to see everything that I don't want you to see. So here's me. And I might as well just tell you, I'm insane. That was like one of the first things I said. I'm so crazy. And she's like, oh my gosh, I love your car. And I'm like, no, you don't. And she's like, yeah, it's so girly. And I'm like, girly, it's a mess. And she's like, no, but it's so girly. I love the glitter on the seats. And I was like, what the heck? So I think that's interesting that like something I'm so insecure about, I feel like I'm so insane and I come off so mentally ill. Like, some girls are eating it up. So I'm just like, you know what, maybe the people on the street are thinking I'm actually like a baddie, even though I'm like got crippling anxiety.
I'm sure everyone thinks that you're a baddie.
No way.
I definitely think that you're a baddie.
Oh,
but I also
baddie.
feel like we think that people are thinking about us so often, but no one is.
I know.
No one is thinking about us as much as we're thinking about us. No one's thinking about us as much as we're thinking about them thinking about us.
No, seriously.
No.
I feel like it's because I sit there and think about myself so often, and not even in a cocky way, like in a analyzing myself way, that it's like someone else has to be doing this. Are they? Probably not, because they're probably thinking about themselves and thinking about their interaction with me after, and having anxiety about their interaction rather than overthinking me, because I'm never overthinking the other person. I'm only ever overthinking myself.
Yeah.
So, like, why do I think someone else is focused? Like, I'm not, like, that's where I'm like, am I really that cocky to think people are thinking about me all the time?
And then we go through the doom scroll and diagnose ourselves with something
Exactly.
else.
Like, am I a
because we
narcissist
think about,
now?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh my.
And then that instigates the stress, and then our wearables are through the roof being like, girl, you're too stressed. You're going to have a heart attack.
I know. And then I'm like, right, now I'm even more stressed because you're telling me I'm stressed out. And now I'm like trying to figure out why I'm stressed. And then I go through the loop again.
The stress cycle, forever and always. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. I feel like we could keep talking about so much more. I have so many questions, but I really, really appreciate you being our first guest on the Stress Test podcast.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I feel honored.
Likewise, I feel so honored that you came, and it's a nice little reunion.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm so proud of you. Every
you.
time I watch your content, especially you cutting people's hair,
Oh
I don't know
gosh.
why that's so satisfying, but every time I watch your content, I'm just like in awe of you. And
Thank you.
I'm so proud of everything that you've pushed through and overcome, especially because the things that you've shared with me, I know can be crippling in my own experience for myself and so many other people. And the fact that you push through it is so inspiring.
Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that. And I'm also so happy to see how you've bloomed, because we met when EVIO was so much smaller, and it's so cool to see it in shoppers now.
Thank
and just
you.
see the brand expand. And it's just been cool that we got to meet each other, not necessarily at the beginning, but like pretty close to the newness of it all. And then now get to see each other. And
thanks to your mom, by the way.
My mom.
Thanks, Mom.
I know, yeah, she really did that.
She did. Okay, while we are here together, okay, you have to pick one based on this conversation. Where are you feeling? Are you about to speak nicely to yourself? Are you about to have a pink perspective moment? Or are you about to have a breakdown? Tear catchers, pink perspective.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Honestly, I'm feeling very light. I'm feeling happy, and I'm feeling like good. So pink.
I love this.
I'm so excited for this. I need
Have
this.
you tried our
No.
eye patches?
No.
So these guys have gone totally viral. They are available at Shoppers Drug Mart.
Ooh, I'll go there after.
They are available at, 460 Shoppers Drug Marts across the country. And they just won, actually the pink one specifically just won.
Oh, I'm doing it backwards.
No, everybody does it their own way.
So they just won.
Yeah, they just won the fashion magazine, Chatelaine magazine, and Hello Canada's best eye mask in Canada.
I've been missing out this whole time.
You've been missing out.
I need to look smack.
We should have hooked you up. You've been missing out.
I know. I'm going to walk away feeling so pretty now.
You are. You looked pretty when you got here.
What?
Now you're going to feel so
you.
refreshed.
Thank you. Your skin looks amazing, by the way. I'm distracted by it.
Thank you. Likewise.
What
Also,
the heck is your routine?
My routine, I am a simple routine. I use our revitalizing oil serum as a cleansing oil to remove my mascara, remove everything, and that is all I use, and the eye patches.
What?
Yeah.
I'm over here with 1,000 steps of God knows what.
But it also shows. Genuinely. I also love as soon as you walked in, I was all about your lipstick.
What?
What shades are you wearing?
Okay, so we've got MAC, probably Cork, on the lip liner, a random red Tarte lipstick, and then, and I do this lip combo with so many different brands, like it's literally whatever brand is closest to me, and then a Tarte lip gloss on top. I love a brown and red mixed.
Same.
It gives like uncooked steak a little bit. Medium rare.
I would have never described it as a medium rare uncooked steak, but I see it. Rare. I'm never gonna unsee it now. Every time I walk by a lady that has like the best combo on uncooked steak. Someone needs to create a lip kit called uncooked steak.
Uncooked steak, luxury version.
The luxury version. I love it. Well, thank you, Truly.
Thank you.
That's a wrap.